Hi there, I'm Lauren Patisi. I am the creator of A Voice for Echo, which is a mental health and wellness blog. And we're here today to talk about mental health and wellness. And before we get started in that, we're all just going to go around and introduce ourselves. So like I said, I'm Lauren, and I am a radio personality in Boston for Country 102.5, one of the on-air people there. And I also have a blog for mental health and wellness called A Voice for Echo, which is why we're all here today. We're going to talk about that. And I also have a public speaking coaching and radio coaching business called radiolauren.com, where I teach people about radio and public speaking and everything under that umbrella. I do that, but our main focus today is to come together and talk about mental health and wellness issues for my blog, A Voice for Echo. It's actually going to be a series, about 5 episodes that we're all going to talk about that. And I guess at this point, we should all just kind of keep going with our introductions.
I'm Lissa Coulter. I am a country pop artist. I'm originally from Boston, which is how I know Lauren. Me and her husband have worked together in the same band, but I am a country artist in the industry, and on the side I also have an artist development company called Cloud9 Develop, which is just artist development, brand development, social media, and web design. And then on the side of that, I also have a little Instagram blog called #SupportHerSuccess, which is empowering women to support other women and just female empowerment as a whole.
Which I think is so vital all the time, not just now, but always. So absolutely. I love it that you do that.
Thank you.
My name is Chelsea Sulky. I'm also a country artist and songwriter down in Nashville. I'm from upstate New York. So I got connected with Lauren through Lissa because we were both upstate, I guess, New England kind of ish, close enough, right? Yeah, so I also bartend on the side, which I love. But yeah, so I think with our industry, it's a lot of mental health too. So I was really excited to be a part of this and tell my story also. So
yeah, I was kind of surprised to hear from you guys because I think with mental health, although every single person struggles in some way, we don't know until they tell us. Yeah. And that was a big reason why I started A Voice for Echo. So I actually had the idea for it a couple of years ago, and I got scared and I wasn't ready to be vulnerable and talk about my struggles with people because I was like, oh my God, people are going to judge me. They're going to be like, that girl on the radio, yeah, she's crazy. Okay. Yeah, the 3 of us have talked outside of this video and talked about our own struggles with anxiety and depression, and I had no idea. I mean, you don't know what you see, like what I see on social media and everything, like people don't talk about it as openly, and I felt like it was really important to share my struggle and then get to know other people that, holy cow, they're dealing with the same thing. For sure. And the thing that kind of like really pushed me to do this is I actually sought help for my depression in the fall. I went to a program and that was insanely eye-opening. I'm like, I was so reluctant to go because I thought if I go, that makes me certifiably crazy. And I totally felt that until I got there and I saw a whole bunch of regular people just like me.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh no! I feel myself getting emotional.
That's good. This is the vulnerable part.
That's why we're here.
I know. I always say, I'm like, we grow from being vulnerable, and that's how we can help people. And the goal all the way, all the time, is to help others. So
absolutely.
Deep breath. Woo!
No, this is good.
This is going to be a very emotional series.
Yeah, I think so, but it's okay. It's okay.
I love it.
So
I love it.
So that was the reason why I started A Voice for Echo, because I saw that there were a lot of people struggling just like me, everyday people, and they weren't crazy. There was nothing wrong with them. They were human. That was the only thing. We were all human. And so I was surprised. Lissa reached out to me, and I totally thought, oh, this is going to be something music related. And she's like, hey, I'd really like to kind of collaborate, me and Chelsea, with your blog. And I was like, Really? Like, I had no idea that either one of you struggled with anything. So that shocked me. And I was like, yeah, totally. I would love that. And my hope is that our series can help as many people as possible. And maybe other people can come forward and talk to me about their struggles, and we can all help more people together. So
Mhm.
that's kind of the goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things with social media is that everyone just posts the happy parts of their lives. And then I think the issue with that is everyone compares and they're like, well, why am I not doing that? Why can't I do that? And people don't realize, like, a lot of times, like, I mean, like, even me personally, like, I'm not going to normally post something that I'm struggling with. Like, I'm going to post the
Right.
good things because I
Right.
want positivity. And then people don't realize, like, I could be posting something and I could be literally in the deepest depression of my life and people have no idea.
Yeah, I have done the exact same thing because I'm like, I'm not going to post that. I don't want to bring people down, and I
Right.
don't want people to judge me. So I'll just post the happy stuff. But there are times I've gone days, weeks without posting anything. No one notices, and it's not a personal slight. It's just
Hmm.
people are in their own world and they're doing their own thing, and
For sure.
I just withdraw or isolate, and that's something that a lot of people do when dealing with mental health issues. And I just figure, well, no one cares, so I'll just disappear and it won't matter. But when I am posting, it is always positive stuff, you know? Like, a lot of times I post what I'm doing at the radio station, or I post something happy, something with my dog or whatever. And so, yeah, people have said to me, they're like, oh my God, you have this great life. How could you possibly be like, well, I'm sorry, I'm a human being. So that's how, you know,
Right.
it's not just because what you see on social media looks perfect or looks fun and looks exciting. Yeah, that's a piece of my life, but and I'm not lying. Like, I know, like, some people, like, they're, oh, you only post the positive stuff. It's like you're
Like you're
making stuff up, and it's
fabricating.
like, no, it is a real piece of my life, but there's so much more that people just don't know about.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
But
Yeah.
like you said, Chelsea, I post things to be positive and uplifting and everything because I want to, like, contribute in that way. That's how I want to
Right.
be. So it makes sense, you know. It's not like leading people on or getting them to think you're something other than what you are. I don't think it's that. I think it's like you're just trying to be upbeat and positive, and there's nothing wrong with
Hmm.
that.
Exactly. You want to
Right.
keep encouraging people. And I think especially like in the time that we're in now, encouragement is huge. So you may be having a bad day, but you don't want other people to feel the way that you feel. So you want to post something positive so that, you know, you are keeping things uplifting and are keeping things happy. And I think that's also, you know, the luck that all three of us have with that is we all have jobs where we're able to take our, you know, our careers and we can create happiness with that. And I think that's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
So definitely, I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, are you fabricated, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, we feel this way and we don't want you to feel this way. So
That's
Right.
exactly it.
that's
Exactly.
where it really comes
Yeah.
from, for sure.
So I think it's important that we address the elephant in the room. Everybody has some kind of struggle with what's going on right now with coronavirus. It's,
Yes.
you know, something I've been saying on the air is because I've had to be on the air during this time, which is hard. Oh my God. And I don't know if people understand how hard it is. It's maintaining a balance between being informational, entertaining, positive, fun, like all of those things, and getting the right balance of all of those things and helping people get some normalcy in their life. Like, hey, I know
Mhm.
this voice. This makes me feel like things are kind of normal. But it's been hard. And that is something that I've been saying is not only does this COVID-19 affect us physically, it affects us mentally. And I am totally okay saying that because I want people to know it's not bad to talk about mental health. I want to normalize that. And I want people to know that I'm an advocate for mental health. And if you're feeling some kind of way because of this mentally, you're not the only one. I feel it too.
Yeah, for sure. And I think with today's, especially today's day and age, and I posted this the other day on my story, we talked about this yesterday. A lot of people think that there's something wrong with them. Like you may not be able to, like, people may not be saying it to you, but you definitely, I know an experience with Chelsea happened this week where she, you know, there was a friend that definitely had a change in attitude and it was just like, where did this come from? And I think we can all agree that something really important is is being able to sit with our own thoughts. And I would say a lot of people that I personally come in contact with do have a difficult time with that, because it's not something that we do every day. We have those distractions. We have social media. We can go out to a bar and have a few drinks. We can go hang out with our friends. We can go to the mall whenever we want. We have all of these things that continuously distract us. But I think right now, because the only thing we have is our phones, our phones get boring after a while. I never thought that day would come where I was like, I am so incredibly bored and my phone isn't helping.
Right.
I can't come to that day.
Yeah.
But it's so true. Like now it's like, okay, now I have to sit with my thoughts and sit with myself. From my personal experience, it took me a while to get to that point, to be able to sit there and just be like, okay, I'm going to sit here and meditate and sit with my thoughts and so on and so forth. So I think it's important that, you know, people are understanding that your friends or your family that may not visibly have or have shown that they, you know, or express that they have depression, anxiety, anger, whatever the case may be. It's important to recognize that those like emotions or like symptoms may be coming out during this time, because they are learning to sit with themselves. And it's important just to be patient and kind and loving and supportive during like all of this.
Like going off of what you said, like I think a lot of people that have never really experienced anxiety or say depression, like all of a sudden it's like brand new to them and they're like, what is this feeling? And it's something like maybe this will start letting, like having people realize like this is something that we deal with every day. Like basically, like I mean, I don't know about you, but like I've been dealing with it since I can remember, with like the anxiety and depression and feeling like you just like don't have like a place, and just always feeling on edge. And I think that that's something like, I think not that it's good, but I think advocating for mental health during this is going to be a lot easier to do, because people are going to understand more than they ever have.
Right. I think because everybody is so go, go, go all the time, they just push their feelings down. They're like, oh, I don't have time to be depressed. I don't have time to be anxious. They have so many other things going on. They just push those feelings down. And the crappy part is like those feelings are not going to go away. They're going to lay dormant, but they are going to pop up at some point, and you're going to have to deal with them.
And that's
right.
I feel like
now we're all doing nothing. You have to just sit with your thoughts, and now is the time where they're going to pop up and you do have to deal with them.
Exactly. And I think a big thing is a lot of people just let their emotions settle. You know, something went on, it really upset them. They're like, oh, I have other things to worry about, pushed away. And all of those pushed away are coming back. And now people are like, oh, what do I do now? Because I don't feel normal. And it's like, no, you're completely normal. It's just all your emotions are coming back up, and we have to find ways to cope with it.
So a couple days ago, I was on the phone with a friend of mine, and he does not get anxious. Like he doesn't get stressed out easily.
Wow. What's that like?
I know. And I heard a difference in his voice. Like it was like almost like a little shaky and like anxious. Anxious is the best word to say.
Yeah.
And they were like, I feel weird. And I was like, you have anxiety? And they're like, no, I never have anxiety. And I was like, the thing is like, anyone can get anxiety. Anyone gets anxiety. It's just a situational thing versus a everyday thing. Right. Where like people like us that are diagnosed with it, it's an everyday thing. It's just we learn how to cope with it differently. Like we can recognize it better. Right. But these people that have never really felt it are like probably freaking out more than we normally would, because we're so used to it. Like they're not.
Right. They're like, it's our normal, and for them it's like what's happening, because they're not used to it. Exactly. So how have you guys been during all of this like quarantine and stuff like that? Now Chelsea, I think you said you have a friend that has corona.
Yeah, he's had it for like 2.5 weeks.
I think so. He actually the other day posted that he doesn't like have it anymore. Like it's everything, but he's having breathing problems now.
Oh, yeah, God, that's and terrifying.
Like he said and like the thing is he's like one of the like probably healthiest, like most working out, like eating healthy type of dudes I know.
Oh, that's scary. Oh my gosh.
Like 32 or 33, whatever, and lives alone. Like he doesn't even have roommates or anything. So like he literally told me, he's like, it feels like someone your size, so me, he's like, it feels like someone like maybe 100 pounds is sitting on my chest. He's like, it doesn't hurt, but it feels like I'm being weighed down, and it's the most uncomfortable feeling, and it's affecting my breathing. And I was like, this is real. Like this is happening to someone healthy.
Yeah.
you know, so like it's scary.
It
And
really is.
for me personally, and I think a lot of people, like hearing those stories, it's like I'm terrified to get it. I'm like I'm staying with my parents who are in their 60s. It's like I am scared to leave the house. So it's like for people with anxiety like us, like it's like the scariest. It's like a nightmare, honestly. And
Yeah.
it's like that's all we can think about right now.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure. One thing with me is like I already have anxiety about getting sick in general, just generalized
Hmm.
anxiety about getting sick. Like that is something because we're singers and we perform for a living and we have to go
Right.
out and sing for a living. The second our
Right.
voices are gone, our job's done. We can't, you know, unfortunately we aren't able to like work at a grocery store job where we can just, you know, stick some gloves on and sanitize and call it a day and just whatever. When we lose our voices, that's our job. So like for me, I already have anxiety about getting sick. So me and my mom went into Walmart last night and I was just like, no one touch me. We're here to get what we need and we're here to go. And I was like, no,
Right.
don't touch me. And like
Right.
my mom was laughing and I was like freaking out. I was trying to laugh with her because it was like, it was a little funny. Like I was like dodging like it was an experience to say the least. But it was like super nerve wracking. Like when you already have, especially when you already have like this anxiety about getting sick, you're just like, I don't want to get sick. I don't know how much, like how, and we really don't. Some people, like, you don't know how well your immune system is. Technically, there's nothing saying, oh, your immune system's great. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So it's like you really don't know how you're gonna react to it, and it's like it's very just anxiety ridden. And again, just being home and having to sit with your thoughts, I think, is even something that I still struggle with. Even though I have gotten to a point where it's been better, it's still something that I still
I don't
Right.
think it ever really goes away. So it's
you,
just like you said, just learning how to deal with it.
yeah, it's always that voice in the back of your head that's trying to like get that anger or anxiety out of you for sure.
Right.
Right.
I feel like I have been actually I'm handling it better than I thought I would for somebody that has anxiety and depression. And I'm an asthmatic, so that makes me really nervous because I know it's
Yeah.
a respiratory thing. And I've had family members reach out and they're like, Lauren, you're an asthmatic. Take care of yourself. I'm like, I know. Oh my God, you're making it worse. So that's the only piece that I am like I don't even want to call it nervous. That's not even accurate. Aware of, I guess. Like my awareness level is like higher. Like I'm really kind of like thinking of it, you know, more than I would ever before. One thing I've noticed, and this is so weird because I'm somebody that gets anxious all the time, my anxiety has been low. And I think it's because a lot of times I get anxious from my own self, my own actions, things that I have control over. This I don't have control over. So I think that my brain is just like, okay. And I'm like, well, that makes no sense. But I mean, all right, we'll go with it. And
Right.
I've also been just trying to think about how when this is all said and done, we're going to be in a better place. And I hope that's not just like wishful thinking. I really am hopeful that that is going to be the reality of it. Like, we're all going to understand, wow, we're all in this together. This is something every single person went through together. We all need each other. And
Right.
we're not going to take things for granted anymore. Like going to eat at a restaurant or our jobs or our family and friends. You know, I think we're going to be at a point where like everybody is more grateful than ever for what they have and their health. And just, I think there's going to be a lot less taking things for granted and a lot more thought going into life and how we're so grateful to have everything that we have. That's just my thought. And I really hope that the world ends up becoming a better place because of this. I don't know. I just always try to see
Yeah,
the
no.
positive silver
I
lining.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And there's something that I saw on Facebook the other day. I think Lisa and I both saw it. It was kind of like maybe this is happening for a reason. I'm a very like firm believer in everything happens for a reason.
I am too.
And it was saying like now that mostly everything is shut down, like it's giving the earth time to like heal.
Yes.
And like the environment is like gonna end up being better than ever now.
Yeah. I've
because
seen
of
that too, and I believe that. Yeah.
Mhm.
100%. Yeah.
So there's definitely so much good that can come out of it. We just have to take advantage of it and like remember that, like you said, we're not alone. Like literally every single person in the United States, at least right now, is going through it.
Right,
For sure,
exactly.
for sure. And I think tying that back into mental health, because people are able to sit there and think and get through, like, I feel like that is doing more good. That's like kind of almost cleaning our brains. And it's like, okay, let's fight through what we have to fight through now, so when we do come out, we are working through it better. I think the real struggle is people understanding that they're not crazy and they're not alone, and that a lot of people are going through this. So I think
Right.
it's kind of cool, you know, that we're all able to kind of, when people kind of hear about that and get this information, that they're able to be like, oh, okay, like, it's, you know, it's a time that I'm being put through the wilderness, and I'm going to be out back kicking butt when we get out of this, you know?
Right. Because how often has it been something that every single person is going through at the same time? Like, I don't think that ever happens. We all go through something. Like, I always like to remember that every single person is going, like, fighting a battle that you know nothing about. But, like, we're all fighting the same battle right now, which is wild, because that doesn't happen. And one of my favorite things is seeing how creative everyone has gotten in this process. Like, people are looking for ways to communicate and get together with their loved ones and their friends and family and everything, like through video chats, through all different ways. Like, even, I think there's even a way to like do a group thing with like Netflix now or something like that. I was reading the other day.
They have like a movie thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. And it's just really cool to see like all the creative ways that people are coming up with that we wouldn't have had time for, or B, even like had the ability to think of that, because everyone is so busy living their own lives and doing their thing. And now it's like, hey, we're at a place where we have to come up with something, and people are just getting so creative, and it's like, I love it, actually.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool seeing what people can come up with. I know something like this, it's so little, so it's really cool seeing the like creative things, but something that's so little that like I don't know, never really hit me was like yesterday. I was like, I'm so bored, and then I was like, why don't I call every single one of my friends, or like as many friends as I can, on FaceTime who I like haven't seen within the past 2 weeks, because me and Chelsea were supposed to be on tour, and so we haven't seen our friends in 2 weeks. And I was like, what if I just give like all my friends a call? Like, how about that? Like, how about like I stop texting and just like pick up the phone and do a FaceTime call? And like me and a few friends were able to just get on FaceTime and catch up with each other. And like something as small as that, like it's cool. It's weird, but it's cool. Like, cause it's like, I feel like that's also something we like take for granted, is not having like having the time to call our friends and family and not be busy for once and catch up with people. So like yesterday was kind of cool in that way. I was like connecting with all my friends and stuff. So
yeah, I had a similar thought. I do a group text with a couple of girlfriends of mine. One lives in Long Island, one lives in Chicago. So I don't see them like ever. And in the year that we've had this group text, we have never thought to do a FaceTime. Like, what? It's crazy. And so the other day I was like, why don't we do like a group chat? Because we never like see one another. Let's do like a Zoom or a FaceTime or whatever. And so we're actually doing that tonight. And I'm so excited, because I'm like, I feel like I haven't seen you guys in so long, because I haven't. And we just text every single day, but never thought to do a group chat. And it wouldn't have likely happened if it wasn't for what's going on right now, because we're all so busy with our regular lives, you know?
That's so true.
I think we're running out of time on Zoom, guys.
all right.
Yeah.
Let's close it up then.
So hopefully this was helpful, insightful, inspiring, anything really in a positive light, hopefully, for anybody that's watching. And to wrap it up, why don't we just give everybody info on how to get a hold of us? You know, in any type of way, I would love to chat with anyone that needs advice or help, or just like a friend. Like, I'm happy to do that. So reach out to me for anything. My social accounts are all Radio Lauren, and it's Lauren, Loren. So Instagram, I'm real active on. Facebook, Twitter, I suppose, but not really.
Does anyone use Twitter?
If they don't, please tell me, because I've been dying to get rid of it.
I don't use it.
And I put a tweet out like a few weeks ago that was like, does anyone else eat croutons as a snack? And it like blew up, and I was like, what is happening?
I love it.
I have a Twitter, but like I don't even think the app isn't even downloaded on my phone.
That's funny. I just never know what to say, and I end up complaining, and I'm like, that's not even me.
Right. That's what I was using it for, so I was like, I can't do this. Like,
anyway, so you guys give out how people can get a hold of you.
Yeah, so I have my Instagram and Facebook. Everything is just at Lissa Coulter. Please send me a message if you need a friend to talk to. I'm always open to talk. Obviously, we have all the time in the world now, but I usually have a lot of downtime between like 9 p.m. and like 3 a.m. So like, if you're a late night person, please shoot me a message if you just want to talk for sure.
Yeah. And then mine on Instagram is Chelsea Sulky Music, and then everything else is just Chelsea Sulky. And you can just go to chelseasulky.com to get all my social handles and everything. But same thing, like Lauren and Lissa said, feel free to message me anytime. I'll answer as soon as I can. So yeah, I think that we are definitely all into this together.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing a series, like we said in the beginning, with my blog, A Voice for Echo, and this is episode 1 of the series, and it's going to be a weekly series. So you can expect 4 more to be released in the coming weeks, and we will see you soon. So take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and be well.